This is 5 Minute Feng Shui, episode 23, Refreshing Your Home's Feng Shui. Tips to cleanse Feng Shui cures, invigorate your home, and invite prosperity chi. Welcome to the 5 Minute Feng Shui podcast, where each week I talk about how to move energy and make money. You'll learn how to create a prosperous home and an abundant life using classical Chinese Feng Shui. I'm your host, Katie Weber, publisher of the Red Lotus Letter, Feng Shui Easing for Wealth. Each week, I'll cover Feng Shui topics that can help you improve your life, share inspiring stories, and always end with 3 easy-to-implement Feng Shui tips that you can put to work right away, and usually in about 5 minutes. Now let's get started on the 5 minutes that could change your life. Today we're talking all about how to cleanse your Feng Shui cures, enhancements, and remedies, and how to invigorate your home and invite prosperity chi. Right after the 1st of January, the new year is underway, but the energy of the year isn't just limited to the first day or even 2 weeks of the first month. In fact, energy begins building, obviously around the 1st of January, but it picks up steam as it culminates toward the beginning of the Chinese New Year, often called the Lunar New Year. That's because their New Year schedule runs by the moon versus the Western schedule that runs by the sun. And this is a really great time because you can kind of look at it as the second New Year. This is the yin beginning that follows the Western yang solar calendar, and it gives us a shot for planting seeds. And here's the thing why it's so important that you observe both New Years. The Western New Year that starts on January 1 pretty much lets us hang our new calendars up, right? We start everything new. We start writing the new year that it turns to from the old year, and we start fresh that way. And it's a good time for us to kind of clear out and set our intentions for the year. But the Lunar New Year is really the year to plant seeds. And why is that? Well, if you think about farmers, when do they plant seeds? They plant them by the moon many times. Lots of farmers have used the moon for millennia, and that's true of them all over the world. And we know that the moon has an influence for making things grow. Think about that. The cycle influences our tides. It can pull the oceans in or push them out. It influences women's cycles. So the moon really is important, and we're made of water, but also the fact that we also plant seeds. So this is a really good time to be, I think better time for setting your resolutions, or actually I like to think of it, instead of setting resolutions, it is planting the seeds for the fruits of what you wish for in the year ahead. It's a really nice time, instead of looking at, I want to stop eating so much, or I want to curtail my drinking, or maybe I want to work out more, that kind of thing. This is a really good time to rephrase that into a wish that you want. I want to be healthy, and a healthy size 10 or 8 or 14 or whatever size that you want to be, or weight that you want to be at. I want to see my blood pressure come to a healthy normal. I'd like to see I wish for a new apartment, a partner in my life. It's where you get to make your cosmic wish to the universe. And this is a really potent time to do that, is at the new moon, which is the Chinese New Year. So when we look at this is a really nice time to begin thinking about what you want to do, but also to clear out some of that old energy. And when it comes to January 1st, a lot of us are flat out tired. We've gone through Halloween and Thanksgiving or Canada Day, or Canadian Thanksgiving. Maybe we've gone through Diwali, the Festival of Lights in India. Who knows what all holidays, Hanukkah. There's there's no telling what all holidays and festivals and times that we've gone through, and Christmas time, and then here it is, New Year's again, January. So everybody just may be flat out tired. So this is a nice time when Chinese New Year comes around, because it'll give us a little time to kind of have a breathing space between all that holiday festivity and the Chinese New Year. And maybe you might feel a little bit more energetic and like you want to do some more once Chinese New Year rolls around. But regardless of whether you want to refresh yourself or you want to make those internal improvements, it's a great time to think about those at the Lunar New Year, because you're going to be the results you're going to see are going to be magnified, and when you pull in that moon's energy to cause growth. And when we think about growing, think about the moon. We see it starts as the new moon when it's black, and it gets bigger, bigger, bigger till it's the full moon. Those first 2 weeks of the new moon to the full moon are the most potent time to begin anything. And February is what the Chinese call worm turning season. And that means that even the earthworms are beginning to kind of wake up a little bit. They can feel the change of seasons starting to approach. And we start to feel that. We start thinking about the spring, and we start planning our vacations for the summer and the rest of the year. But this is a really terrific time for you to be thinking about all those things that you want to do, in addition to getting ready and preparing your space for all those accomplishments that you're going to be making. So one of the ways that you're going to do that is you want to prepare for the Chinese New Year by cleansing any Feng Shui items you have. Maybe you have a 5-element pagoda, or you have a wind chime that you use, or a wu lo, which is the sort of the figure 8 sort of calabash symbol that represents health and turning bad luck to good luck. Those items that you have around your house that you've used for Feng Shui purposes, they need a refreshment. Maybe your lucky bamboo is dusty. I would take it all out, rinse it off, take all the dust out, clean off those rocks that they've been sitting in, clean out the vase, clean and take a time to just prepare your home and get it ready for the Chinese New Year, particularly because we have, in addition to the Chinese New Year, we also have the Feng Shui New Year. Now, this always happens on February 4th, regardless of the Chinese New Year. Every February 4th is basically the Feng Shui New Year. So we've got a couple of things that are going on at once. But let's talk about how you can cleanse your Feng Shui enhancements. Now, if you're new to Feng Shui and you're really not sure what these enhancements are or what these activators are, you can look at my website, redlotusletter.com, and look up symbols, activators, energizers, that kind of thing, and you'll get all kinds of information about it. So let's talk about how you can do that. So one of the most important remedies that we have to handle negative energies is called a 5-element pagoda. This guy does the heavy lifting. He's the one Feng Shui remedy that you just absolutely have to have, in my opinion, because he handles the absolute worst energy called the bone breaker. And it actually can break bones. I know, because my mom broke her leg when it happened to come to her front door. And so you want that 5-element pagoda to be clean and ready for the coming year. One way to do that, and the simplest way, is simply, one of the things that you do with it actually is to put dirt inside of it from whatever area it's protecting. So if it's protecting the north, like it did in 2018, then you want it to go to work for you in 2019 when it moves to the southwest corner and affects women and relationships, marriages, that kind of thing. So we really want to protect those. So you're going to take out the dirt that is inside of the 5-element pagoda. You're going to rinse it out, wash it with some soap, put it back together, or you can leave it empty. It doesn't matter. You can pull it apart, however you want to do it, and simply set it in the sun all day. And it's a great way to just re-energize it, cleanse it. I don't know about you, but I grew up in the era where my mother and grandmother talked about sun bleaching. And, they talked about it whether it was for your hair, or maybe you had a stain in some white sheets and you could hang them in the sun with a little lemon juice and it take care of it and smell fresh too. Now, let's also talk about some other items that you might have around the house that you're going to use for your feng shui, and that is crystals. You can do the same thing with crystals. Soak them overnight in some salt water if you want to, just to kind of take away some of any kind of energies that they've absorbed, and clean them all down, wipe them off, and again, let them sit out in the sun. Pretty much all cures should just all be cleaned off, wiped off, rinsed if you can do that. Get all the dust off of them, because dust is very yin, and we want to start with a nice clean start to the year. So always clean everything really thoroughly, set it in the sun if you can. If you use plants as energizers, I know I talked about the lucky bamboo. That's a really terrific remedy and enhancement both. Make sure you just clean them out. Look over your plants if you use them. If you move a plant around, maybe you have an orchid, something like that, just clean all the dust off the leaves, and give them a nice trim, maybe a little fertilizer. That's a really terrific way to just take care of your plants. Show them a little love. Now let's talk about cleansing and energizing your home. An easy, simple ritual for cleansing and energize your home that's really nice to perform here at the New Year, the Chinese New Year, is just to get all your energizers and cures all cleaned and put them in the sun. If you can do it for a couple of days, all the better. If you are locked up inside because it's freezing outside and there's snow 3 feet deep, well, put them in a window, a sunny spot, and that'll do just really nicely. And now, nothing can take the place of cleaning your home thoroughly. And when you have the Lunar New Year coming, you want to start off with a really nice, clean slate. You want to declutter around your house, get rid of any excess papers, that kind of thing, and give your house a really thorough cleaning. So when I'm talking about thorough cleaning, I'm talking about, and I know this probably isn't thrilling, but I'm going to share something with you about myself. I love to clean toilets. I know that sounds crazy, but I actually do, because I take a particular interest in cleaning. I actually like to clean, not just toilets, but just in general. Nothing feels good as strapping on a pair of rubber gloves and hitting the elbow grease and getting going. I love the way a sparkling clean house feels. It just feels like it has potential. I feel like I have potential when I am in a really nice, clean house that's not dusty or layer of grease on somewhere. So let's talk about those toilets. So this is my example for the rest of the house, and what I mean when I say do a thorough, deep cleaning. So when I clean a toilet, it's not just running a brush around under the rim. I like to wipe the whole surface down. Obviously, brush around the rim, get up in there. I like to use scouring powder, not liquid, because things like Ajax or Comet really gets in there and gets that bowl fresh and sparkling. It doesn't scratch. And if the makers of Ajax or Comet want to send me a free case of their products, I would love that. But I like to use scouring powder, and I like to use paper towels to clean paper towels or microfiber to clean the toilet. But the actual commode part, I like just a couple of paper towels, spray it with cleanser, wipe it all off, and then get my microfiber cloth, spray it down, get a nice cleaner on it, and wipe from top to bottom. Around the bowl, I clean every single bit of the toilet bowl. All the back, the little curve, everything. Or I hand wipe down the floor all the way around it and the walls. Yep, that's my idea of a clean toilet. So, when I'm talking about cleaning your house, I'm talking about running a microfiber mop under the bed if you've got hard floors or something like that. Really get in there, especially dust and dirt. We want to attack that grime, and we want to get that dust out of there. So make sure you get a nice microfiber cloth, and it'll trap that dust. You can lightly spray it with some water, as long as you're not using it on wood, but get it nice and clean. And then once you've cleaned your house and it's decluttered as much as you can, now we want to invigorate right? Now we've got a nice clean slate. We feel great. We're so proud. Pat yourself on your back. And we want to invigorate our house with new energy. So we want to represent that new growth for the year. So I love to light some incense, maybe some candles. I like to bring in a vase of flowers, and I put all my cures and remedies in their places around the house. And I like that some incense is going and to sort of clear out any stale energies and bring in and by energies I mean, like, we all have moments in the year where we're sad. Maybe we have an argument. Someone's been sick, and I really like the incense because it sort of clears out that energy. And I like to do that. And I also like to go through the house with a bell and start at the front door and go in a clockwise circle and just ring a bell. And you energetically pierce any old stale energies. Once you've cleaned them, we want to pierce any lingering and pierce and disperse any old lingering energies. So invite them to move on, right? We want to dispel them. And then that smoke and the bell will help to bless your home and disperse any lingering negativity or energies that you have from the past year or from past disappointments and that kind of thing, and opens your house to new energy. Now let's talk what you can do about inviting prosperity chi. Let's look at your wallet and purse first. If they're old, they're damaged, that's not saying very good things about money. We want to have an attractive purse. We want to have a nice wallet. We want them to look good and not be, fraying at the edges or have a big stain. I have a client gave me a very expensive designer purse, and I love it. It is so gorgeous. It's a robin's egg, patent leather blue, and Tory Burch, and it's stunning. And everybody always would compliment me whenever I would carry that purse. And I very dumbly got a ballpoint pen that made a big mark on it, and I always felt every time I carried that it was diminishing my finances because it was diminished. And I've worked on getting that stain out. I've taken it in to see leather people and what have you. Anyway, finally I just had to set it up on a shelf and just have nice memories of the lovely client who gave it to me. Anyhow, get your wallet in good shape, get your purse, do a nice thorough cleaning of it, go through and get rid of that old credit card that you had closed the account out because of whatever, or you just don't want it. If there's credit cards you never use, like I have a Macy's card and I almost never use it. There's really one credit card that I use over and over and over, and we build up lots of points and that kind of stuff, and it gives us great first class tickets every year to exotic destinations. So that's the card I like to carry. So we kind of whittle down those cards, check for any dust and old receipts, that kind of thing. And I always like to hide a bill in my wallet. Personally, I like to hide a $100 bill in there somewhere, and it's folded up and it's my emergency money. And I always can tell myself, yeah, I could afford that. I just don't want to get it, or I keep it for emergencies, that kind of thing. It's always in there. And so I always know I have cash in my wallet, and it's just, I don't know. That's what I do that makes me feel good. Maybe it's a $20 bill for you. Maybe you want a $50 bill, whatever denomination you want. I think it's terrific. Just get rid of those old bits of papers, of receipts and things like that you have in your purse. One of the things I do is I go to the office supply store, and I have a little it's a plastic envelope. It's not little. It's about like the half size of a sheet of paper, but it's got a little Velcro thing. And whenever I get receipts, it's clear. Then in they go. And that helps me keep my purse clean and organized. Next, go through and get rid of those clothes you never wear. That kind of thing. It always just sort of brings you down every time you pull it out and you look at it. It's a great blouse, but boy, it's got that big grease stain right in the middle of it. Just throw it away. Don't donate it, because it's bad luck to donate things that really really are not useful, and someone else is going to go, oh, it's a great shirt, but it's got a grease stain on it. If you think that, someone else is going to think that. Only donate things that are going to be usable to other people. Make sure that you look around in your home. One of the things we overlook these days many times is cleaning the ceilings. Look for cobwebs and that kind of thing, because they can kind of attract dust, and that brings that energy down. Walk to your front door now, and then look at where your eye falls. Wherever you look should be something beautiful. So if you are at your front door and you look in your room, where does your eye just normally go to? That's most likely your lucky corner. Put something beautiful there, whether it's a lamp, a flower, something pretty where your eye will fall, and it will activate your home for luck every time you see it. And then before your New Year, especially if you can, add a bowl to your dining room or your breakfast table or your kitchen counter and fill it with fruits. Things like pineapple and oranges represent abundance and the sweetness of life and the arrival of prosperity. Make sure to get rid of any mismatched or chipped glasses and dishware in your cabinets, because this brings down the energy of the food you eat. Go through and fill up your jars and any kind of storage jars that you have with flour, sugar, rice, whatever else you store. Throw out if you got just a little bit down in the bottom of your flour jar, just throw it out and put in a nice fresh bag of flour. And if you work at home, this is a really fun thing to do that you do is add 3 Chinese coins tied with red string to your work chair, or you can place them, if you have one of those chair mats, place it under your chair. I've got a folder that I keep all of my Feng Shui reference materials in. So when I'm talking to a client, I've got some reference sheets that I can see things at a snap. I've had that for as long as I've been in business, this one brown folder, and I've had a 3 Tai coin on it, and my business has grown since I started. So that's how important those 3 Tai coins are. You can put them in your wallet. You can put them on your chair. You can put them on your client files. You can put them on your business files. You can put it in your cell phone case. There's all kinds of ways that you can use those 3 Tai coins. Look for them at your Chinese emporiums or decor stores. Sometimes carry them, and make sure you put them under your chair. Here's another fun thing that you can do is add a mountain of gold by painting some gold rocks and adding them into the north corner or the northwest corner of your home to stimulate income. The gold represents gold nuggets and big heavy metal, and that represents income and prosperity. Plus, if you put them in the northwest of the house, it boosts the energy for heaven energy for the man of the house. And if you don't have a man and you're looking for one, it can also help you attract one. This is a really neat tip I love to do. Get those 3 Tai coins and put them in the 4 corners of your house. They will activate the energy for your home from the north, east, south, and west, or whatever direction your corners of your home are, and anchor you. Now, look around your house and look for broken energy. If you have anything that's damaged, like chipped paint or scuffs on the walls, make sure that you go and get that repaired, because on one of our last podcasts, I talked about broken equals broke. Just remember that. So when you're eating off a chipped dish, you just throw it away. Just get it in the trash. Repair, replace, and that will bring all the energy up that you have. All right. Well, we're at the end, and I hope this has been helpful for you, and also motivating, inspirational for you to get around and get out there and clean up your house. Really set the scene for beautiful energy coming to you in 2019. And as always, here are your 3 tips. Tip number 1, use sunlight to purify. If you have feng shui remedies or enhancers, or you bring something of unknown provenance, like from a thrift store, into your home, before you bring it into your home, let it sit in the sun. wash it. Like if it's clothing, wash it or take it to the dry cleaners. Just put it somewhere in a sunny window. Let the sun purify it. It's amazing what the sun can do, right? All things come to light under the sun. Tip number 2, add abundance symbols around your house. After you've cleaned thoroughly and done a really good get in there kind of job, put out some pretty plants, flowers. I love orchids. Those are really good symbols for career growth and income. And I think they're absolutely stunning in any kind of decor as well. It doesn't matter what kind of decor you have. And add a bowl of fresh fruit. Fruit is also a symbol of abundance. Put your apples, your oranges together. They do really well. Just don't put your apples and bananas. Remember, the bananas will make the apples overripe. I don't know if you knew that or not. Anyhow, number 3, anchor your home for prosperity by adding 3 Thai Chinese coins in the 4 corners of your home to anchor your home for prosperity and growth. All right, this has been fun for me. I hope you had a good time today and enjoyed all my stories, like how I love to clean toilets and, well, actually how I love to clean. And maybe that'll inspire you to get in there and tackle that bathroom and other places where, angels fear to clean. Have a great day. Thanks for joining me on 5-Minute Feng Shui. Thanks for listening today to 5-Minute Feng Shui. The Year of the Pig is coming, and I want to share with you where you can find everything you want in the year ahead. That's because the Prosperity Star is coming this year, and it's showering us with a Roman candle of opportunities for money, abundance, and love. And it's all in my annual Feng Shui Forecast Success Pack. You'll get a full year of in-depth Feng Shui details about how to use the energy of the year for success and prosperity. And it's for every house and every zodiac sign. And my forecast also includes lucky clothing colors, handbag, and wallet colors. You'll get a full zodiac report for your Chinese zodiac sign and so much more. Be sure to go to redlotusletter.com/annual for all the details on the Year of the Pig.